Good morning, boys and girls. How are you? Before we start, Mia is going to pray for us.
Let's pray. Lord, the children bless us. Amen.
Today, the story is about Hannah's gift to God. The memory verse comes from 1 Samuel 1-28. For his whole life will be given to the Lord. Now let's listen to the story.
And her husband Elkanah had been to the tabernacle at Shiloh to worship the Lord. And Hannah had prayed for a baby. Old priest Eli had asked God to give her what she'd prayed for. And back home at last, Hannah watched the children chase each other, playing games. Hannah smiled at the noisy, out-of-breath children. She smiled at their mothers, and she hugged a secret to herself. She was finally going to be a mother too. And then one day, Hannah's baby boy was born. Hannah looked at her beautiful baby's dark curly hair and his cute little ears, and she touched his soft skin and counted his tiny toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tiny little toes. Hannah named her baby Samuel because that name means heard of God. She had asked God for a son, and he had heard her. The next year, when it was time to go to worship the Lord at Shiloh again, Elkanah went, but this time Hannah stayed home. I will wait until the baby can feed himself, she said to her husband. Then I will take him to the tabernacle, and he will stay there and serve the Lord. So when Samuel grew old enough to eat regular food, Hannah took him to the tabernacle just as she promised. Do you remember me? She asked Eli. I stood here and prayed to the Lord for a son. He gave me this beautiful boy, and now I am giving him back to the Lord. My boy will belong to the Lord all his life, and he will help you in many ways. Little Samuel looked up at priest Eli. He was not afraid to stay at the tabernacle with him. Even though he was still a small little boy, he could help God's leader, priest Eli. He would do all he could to help the old priest. Hannah missed her boy very much, but she knew she had done the right thing. All year, she looked forward to going to worship at the tabernacle. Every year, Hannah took a new coat to Samuel, and every year, priest Eli would bless Hannah and Elkanah. May the Lord give you more children, Eli said. And God did bless Hannah and her husband. In the years that followed, God gave them more than she had asked for. 3 more sons and 2 daughters. They lived at home with their mother and father, but little Samuel lived at the tabernacle and helped priest Eli. Hannah missed little Samuel, but she kept her promise to God. She had given her son to the Lord to be priest Eli's helper. She would see him only once a year when the family went to Shiloh again, but that was all right, because she loved the Lord and was happy to have Samuel serve him. Samuel was so special, and Hannah always loved him.
This podcast was brought to you by Studio El Piso and Gracelink.net. For more children's resources, please visit Gracelink.net.